Some of my favorite people to follow on Instagram, they will have their phone out all the time and share all the details of their lives, and you get to see their coffee cup and time on the beach and all of that. And I just love getting a peek into other people's lives. I think especially since the pandemic, it's just fun to be joining people virtually. And I realized I never did that. If you just follow all of my social media, my emails and so forth, you might conclude that I love my work, and you'd be right, but not really know what's going on in my life. And so I want to share that with you. Last weekend, I got up. I love taking my time when I wake up. I could easily take 2.5 hours from when I wake up until I'm ready to go, although I also definitely have the capacity to get up and be ready to go in about 10 minutes. So I had the opportunity to be more leisurely on Saturday, and then was on my computer for a little while in order to send some emails, respond to some clients, and then I put on a t-shirt and a baseball cap, and I went to watch my youngest child's baseball game. He typically has 3 games every weekend, and I just love the whole vibe. They're very small stands and still very exciting games, even though there are about, 40 people watching them. And I went to the first baseball game. I didn't stay for the second because I went and I had a facial, which is in my calendar on a regular basis, and there's very little that gets me to change that. I just love lying there and being taken care of. So much of my life, I'm focused on other people and simultaneously myself, but there's something about just lying down, closing my eyes, and feeling the loving attention of my esthetician that I thoroughly enjoy. Then I took a phone call from my daughter, who's in the process of choosing which school she's going to go to get her PhD. And so there's lots of ins and outs about that in terms of geography and advising me. She wanted me to advise her on priorities and financial considerations, and so that was very exciting and very intense, and drafting emails to the various admissions departments to negotiate some things. I took a call from my brother, hearing his incredible updates. He lives in Vermont off the grid, and so whenever he calls, I try to answer because it's only when he's driving that he has reception, and so his availability is limited, and so it's always a treat when he calls. And then I got home and cooked dinner for my family. And then we had a Zoom call, the 6 of us, my husband and I and our 4 children and grandparents, his mother and stepfather. The 6 of us had a fabulous call for an hour, catching up with one another. And that call ended, and then my 2 older children who don't live at home anymore, one in Chicago and one in New York, messaged and said, hey, we weren't done. And so the 6 of us got on the phone on a Zoom call for another 90 minutes, and it was just so fun, and we talked about all kinds of things we'd never discussed before. I'm such a fan of cultivating curiosity in your romantic relationship, but it's wonderful to do with children as well. And by that time, it was time to put my youngest to bed and spend some time with my husband. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you want to hear more about my life outside of coaching, by all means, post the question below or send me a DM.